So, um, so one may be asking, how does all of this connect to marketing, branding, a small business, a nonprofit,
Hmm.
a church? Um, I do, and somebody may be asking, what do you get from listening? What do you get from a business standpoint from listening? Um, I'm gonna share it to Malik and want you to respond to it.
Sure.
What I think you get from listening is an opportunity as a business, church, nonprofit, small business, etc. You get the opportunity to tell your story
Hmm.
and to connect your story to the story you heard from the potential customer you were listening to. What I've learned about marketing when I was doing real estate investing and flipping was listening to the story of the potential customer who was going to sell me their house,
Yeah.
to understand how my story, which is to buy ugly homes in any condition, connects to their story.
Hmm.
If I came in with a campaign about how great I am, why you should go with me, the amount of money I'm gonna get you, that works every now and again, but it really is about the story.
Absolutely.
So when you hear that message about intertwining stories from a professional standpoint, how do you react to that?
So I'll go back to your very first point that you started talking about in your initial comment, which is really simple. The power of listening is everything. How do you increase sales if you haven't heard what the consumer wants?
Yeah.
Impossible, right? So now you're selling what you think they want rather than what they need. Let me know how that works out for you. Because you're going to end up at the bank looking to try and refi your home to keep that business afloat. Um, we miss that mark because we want people to know our God and forget that He's their God too. Their God experience is going to be different than ours. I may have a story about how He blessed me, but really my focus should be uncovering the story of how He's blessing you and how He's going to bless you. That's something that very well may leave me out of it. I may not be the main character in that story, and I have to be willing to sit, in that movie theater and eat my popcorn and just enjoy the experience of watching, God work in your life. Sometimes that's hard for all of us because we get stuck on us, me,
Mm.
myself, and I. Um, and we forget that He's here for everybody. He's a savior for everybody. And our story is not the golden fleece of all stories. There are others that need to hear and have great stories. The To relate that to the corporate space, data is king. We
Mm.
right now are having hissy fits over Facebook data breaches and some of the things that Facebook has done with data. We have credit companies selling,
Mm.
all this protection around our data, we're securing your profile. So why wouldn't I want to hear from someone who's willingly sharing their data with me, their needs? They're giving us a needs assessment on the spot.
Mm.
We interrupt that to tell them what he already filled, the need he already filled. It's pointless. And
Mm.
so taking the opportunity to hear from the community, to listen to the community also gives you a headwind on where you need to go in terms of, you know, potential opportunities and solutions. You
Mm.
may very well find out that your block party, excuse, my vernacular on this, but your block party sucks because it doesn't, with all the food that Deacon Jackson cooked and with all the juice, that the mothers made and all of the singing that you've done and the yes, your MD is 25 and he can kill that keyboard. But what they really needed was someone that could do free taxes for them because they need to understand the new tax base because the developers are coming in with tax credits for 10-year tax abatements and rising up the cost in the neighborhood. You know, we miss those kind of opportunities because we think we know how God is going to move rather than listening to how He can move.
Uh, you killed me with listening gives you data, and data allows you to know what to sell to the customer. Like that was good. I want to hit on some. We so off topic right now. I mean, we're on topic, but the questions I
Right,
asked.
right. Look
So
at God work. Look.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I still want to help people, man. I still want to
Hmm.
help people with this podcast, right? Julie Baldwin Davis from the AmericanExpress.com website wrote the following: 5 ways to master the art of listening. 5 things, Malik. Forget outdated advice when it
Hmm.
comes to listening. Stop parroting people.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
2, interpret what you hear. I mean, you're not dumb. Use the brain in between your ears. Number 3, clarify what you heard the other person say. Number
Hmm.
4, one of my favorite, ask open-ended questions.
Yeah.
Right. Number 5, validate what you heard again. Then let me jump over here to fastcompany.com.
Hmm.
Stephanie Voza said some critical things here about becoming a better listener. She says, listen to learn, not to be polite.
Mm. Mm.
Facts, man. Quiet your agenda.
Yeah.
Number 3, ask more questions. People love to talk about themselves and their story. Let them. Let them
Yep.
give you the answers to the test on how to convert them. Number 4, pay attention to your talk or listen ratio. Number 5, repeat back what you heard. And then number 6, actually wait until someone is done talking before you respond. I mean,
Yeah.
this type of free data is freely given if you just listen.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised as a business owner, as a evangelist expert, as a nonprofit organization, how much farther you can get down the road just by listening. I'm in the middle of working on a couple of campaigns
Hmm.
and projects where people want to launch new activities. And what I am saying to my partners and friends and team is, wait, time out. You about to create something nobody wants. Nobody gave you that feedback that they want that. I mean, we're good at it,
Right.
but dude, you don't know how they're going to respond to what we have. The better thing to do is listen, tie our story into their story.
Hmm.
I've gotten better, and I'm not necessarily a master at this, of doing what you said, man. Collecting feedback, tweaking, and adjusting, and then, quite frankly, being honest enough to ask for feedback.
Yeah.
Because in the world of the church, in the world of nonprofits, we're we're kind of thin-skinned and sensitive.
Oh yeah.
So if you ask somebody off the street, man, what do you think of the church? I'm not sure we'll be ready for that answer. Or what can the church do better? Do you really want to hear that? Because they're telling you the data
Right.
to help you get better at church.
That's the fear. It's funny that you say that because that is the fear that restricts many churches from doing effective evangelism.
Mm.
I don't want to go outside because I'm scared of what they're going to tell me when I get there.
Dude.
So I'm going to stay inside my four walls, and you just keep telling us that, everybody keep telling everybody that we're doing good, and then we wonder why we're not growing. Um, not picking on the Jehovah Witness, but they're constantly out in the street. Part of that is a mandate.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have hours. One of the things that they said when I was sitting in Bethel talking to them was, we don't have members of the Secret Service here. Our service is outward. They're like, we don't hide in what we believe.
Mm.
That alone was a whole sermon series that I could just go, work on in that alone. Because in so many ways, we have selective Secret Service.
Yeah.
I only want to show it in the spaces where it's most welcome. I don't want to hear the feedback. I don't want to hear something that's going to tell me I need to recalibrate because I have an MDiv. I have a DMin. You're not going to tell me that this message and all the years of study amounted to you telling me it didn't land on you well. That's because you need a better look at God, right? Those are, if we're going to be honest, that's what flesh can do sometimes. And you don't need the demon for that. You can be the deacon, you can be the worship leader. And my God, I love Grateful, but we don't need to hear it 19 times. I mean, my
Yeah.
God, let's work on something else, right? Those are the things that we get impacted by, and it doesn't allow us to fine tune our experience that wasn't for us.
Yeah.
If you remember, look, baptism is an outward expression of faith. And then we start to deal with, we go from an outward expression of faith and then we turn inward and then wonder why people can't see it.
Yeah.
Where'd your faith go? Where'd your expression go?
I'm still wrestling with what you said. You know, we don't hit the streets to tell our story enough.
No.
You know, and I'm just like chewing on it heavy.
Can you imagine if a Christian, if a group of Christians actually met a group of Jehovah Witness on the street because you were evangelizing at the same time in the same way in the same frequency? Could you imagine that?
No, not right now. No,
I mean, really.
especially in Philly. No.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of times, our evangelism is left at a church plant, or a leader recognizes that numbers are dwindling, and you're having a conversation with the trustees, and you go, you know what, bring in the pastor of evangelism, and let's turn it up a notch. And then we go for a super Sunday or a super Saturday, and we go out and we knock on doors. Well,
Wow.
if that's not authentic, the people whose doors you knock on, they see the inauthentic approach. You're coming to me, and that's where we get that feedback. Oh, the church is only looking for more money for the offering pan. The pastor must be looking for more money for a new car. It may have absolutely nothing to do with that. In many cases, it has absolutely nothing to do with that, but we've been so infrequent in our activities that their assessment and perception of our genuine activity, we've let our good be evil spoken of.
I'm chewing on this. I'm chewing on this.